And if you haven't, oh, Katya, look at you. All right, here's what's funny. So I have told the brown coat story for 28 years here at QVC because I went to that fancy New York store and I saw that brown coat when I was a brand new host, having just been hired at what then was QVC2 in New York City. That's where the studios were, and that's where I was hired for the first 6 months that I was a host. And so I had gone to this New York department store, well known, very famous, you know, very fancy. And I tried on this beautiful brown coat, and it was more money than I'd ever spent on it, ever even considered spending on a coat. And so I tried it on, I loved it, it was fabulous, and then I talked myself out of it. Like, you know, you don't need to do that. And I went home and you know how it works, like something it just keeps eating at you and you're thinking like, oh, I should. So I thought, I'm going back, I'm going to get that coat. And I went back and the coat was gone. And I said, well, is it anywhere? And they're like, no, that coat is nowhere else. I have been telling that story for 28 years. And so when they said, would you like to do a second collaboration for Studio Park, and we'd like you to do fall, I said, can we do a coat? And can we do a version of that coat, which I believe now it's been 28 years, but I think it was probably a cashmere coat. It was beautiful. It was a longer coat. And so when we did the coat for my collection, we called it the fancy coat because I was telling that story as well. So we're now down to the last of what we have. This has been presented, as I said, my entire fall Studio Park collection debuted on on September 8th. We started with 1,000 of the coats. There are 100 left in petites and 200 left in regular. We did it in the original brown version that was the inspiration. And what I loved about that coat, and what I love about the one that we did for my Studio Park collection is it's just, you know, classic things, like a pointed collar. We did a little bit of the flap flange with kind of a nod to a trench coat detail, but on one side, which made it feel very purposeful, but also with a nice designer touch. It is fully lined. I love the seaming that gives you nice shape, whether you're wearing it open or whether you're belting it. It does have a matching self belt. The lining is a beautiful satiny lining that is dyed in the color to match. Now, yes, we did it in the brown, but we also did it in this cream. And when you see and even the tab on the sleeve cuff, when you see this cream on Katya, there's that flange again with some trench coat elements. And this was what was so incredible to me about that coat that I saw all those years ago. And then the cream version was inspired because if you ever saw the movie First Wives Club, it had Goldie Hawn, it had Bette Midler, and it had Diane Keaton. And in the end, those three ladies, you know, after they've done, you know, they all, the moral of the story, and they're all friends at the end, and everything's worked out well for them. And they go doing this dance down the street, and Diane Keaton's wearing this incredible cream coat. I remember that too. And I thought, ooh, there's something about a long coat in an ivory cream color that is just so chic. So we have it in both, and I'll put this one in front just so you can see. But it's also the coat that when you put on that nice dress to go maybe to someplace special, or you put together a beautiful outfit, and yes, it's cold outside and you are wearing a coat, but a nice dress coat. That's what this is. We call it the fancy coat, but this is that dress coat that you put on over an outfit, whether it's going to work, whether it's going to worship service, whether it's going to a restaurant, whether it's going to the theater. And it's that nice coat that you will have for years and years. It's the reason I tried to go back to the store the next day after having talked myself out of investing in that great quality coat. And over the years, you know, I learned a lesson. One, when you see something you really love, if you can, get it. Don't put yourself in any distress to do it, but if you can, get it. And two, think about those pieces that are timeless, quality pieces. When you're choosing a coat, you know, you want it to be a coat that you'll be happy with for years to come. And so all these years later, I finally have my brown coat. And it will be one that I enjoy for years to come as well. I hope you do too. So let us know. Item number is a 636560. I should mention the regular is 47 to about 53 inches long. We're last call, however, on the petites, that'll be 43 to 49 inches long, and we only have the cream remaining in the petite fancy coat. So free shipping and handling with all Studio Park items at the regular price. And so you can go to QVC.com, you can see my collection, but you can see everyone who has Studio Park collections. I have one, Courtney has one, Vanessa, Jane Tracy, Amy Strand, we all have Studio Park collections. So if you haven't had a chance to see them yet, by all means, do go to QVC.com and take a closer look. All right, let me give you the number. The number is